Our brains are remarkable organs, capable of processing vast amounts of information and making complex decisions. However, they're not perfect. Cognitive biases are systematic errors in thinking that can lead us astray, even when we believe we're being rational. These biases are like mental shortcuts, helping our brains conserve energy by simplifying information processing. While often useful, these shortcuts can lead to predictable errors in judgment and decision-making. Understanding these biases is crucial for making better decisions in all aspects of life, from personal relationships to financial investments. Imagine you're buying a used car. You've done your research and have a budget in mind. But then, the salesperson shows you a car priced significantly higher than your budget. This initial price, even though you know it's inflated, might unconsciously anchor your perception of what a fair price is. You might end up paying more than you initially intended, influenced by that initial anchor. Cognitive biases can affect anyone, regardless of intelligence or experience. They stem from our brain's natural tendency to seek patterns, make quick judgments, and rely on heuristics. By becoming aware of these biases, we can learn to recognize them in ourselves and others, and take steps to mitigate their influence on our decisions. The anchoring effect is a powerful cognitive bias that demonstrates how our judgments can be swayed by seemingly irrelevant information. It occurs when we rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive, the anchor, when making decisions. This anchor sets the stage for our subsequent judgments, even if it's not logically relevant. Consider this experiment. Participants were asked to estimate the percentage of African countries in the United Nations. However, before answering, they were asked to spin a wheel rigged to land on either 10 or 65. Those who spun a 10 estimated the percentage to be much lower than those who spun a 65, even though the wheel spin was completely unrelated to the actual answer. The anchoring effect isn't limited to numerical estimations. It can influence our perceptions of value, probability, and even our negotiations. When you see a sale sign with a high original price crossed out, you're more likely to perceive the discounted price as a bargain, even if the original price was inflated. Understanding the anchoring effect is crucial for making objective decisions. When you encounter a number, especially in situations involving value or negotiation, remember the power of anchoring. Question the relevance of the information presented, and try to anchor your judgment on objective data and your own independent assessment. Our brains have a knack for seeking out information that confirms our existing beliefs and conveniently forgetting details that contradict them. This is known as confirmation bias, a pervasive cognitive bias that can lead us down a path of flawed thinking and poor decision-making. Imagine you're considering investing in a new tech startup. You've read a few positive reviews online and are feeling optimistic. If you're susceptible to confirmation bias, you might actively seek out more positive reviews and articles that praise the company, while unconsciously ignoring any negative press or critical analyses. Closely related to confirmation bias is hindsight bias, also known as the "I knew it all along" phenomenon. It's the tendency to look back at past events and believe that we predicted the outcome all along, even when we had no such foresight. Think about a time when your favorite sports team won a game. You might recall feeling confident about their chances, even if the game was close or you had doubts beforehand. Hindsight bias can lead us to overestimate our predictive abilities and overlook crucial information that could have informed better decisions. The bandwagon effect is a social phenomenon that highlights our innate desire to conform and follow the crowd. It describes our tendency to adopt beliefs and behaviors that are popular or widely accepted, regardless of our own independent judgment or evidence. This effect is often observed in trends, fashion, and even political opinions. When we see a large number of people endorsing a particular product, idea, or candidate, we may be more likely to conform to the majority opinion, even if it contradicts our own initial beliefs. On the other hand, the gambler's fallacy delves into the realm of probability and our flawed understanding of chance events. This bias leads us to believe that past events can influence the outcome of future random events, even when they are statistically independent. Imagine flipping a coin 5 times and getting heads each time. The gambler's fallacy might lead you to believe that tails is due on the next flip, even though the probability of getting heads or tails remains a constant 50% with each independent toss.